De Leon Maydeline from Humes 11D. The Shout by Simon Armitage. Simon Robert Armitage, CBE, FRSL, is an English poet, playwright, and novelist who was appointed Poet Laureate on May 10, 2019. He is also a professor of poetry at the University of Leeds and succeeded Geoffrey Hill as Oxford Professor of Poetry when he was elected to the 4-year part-time appointment from 2015 to 2019. The Shout by Simon Armitage. We went out into the schoolyard together, me and the boy whose name and pace I don't remember. We were testing the range of the human voice. He had to shout for all he was worth. I had to raise an arm from across the divide to signal back that the sound had carried. He called from over the park. I lifted an arm. Out of bounds, he yelled from the end of the road, from the foot of the hill, from beyond the lookout post of Fretwell's farm. I lifted an arm. He left town, went on to be 20 years dead with a gunshot hole in the roof of his mouth in Western Australia. Boy with the name and face I don't remember. You can stop shouting now, I can still hear you. Analysis of the poem The Shout by Simon Armitage. The shout takes a memory from the Armitage school days and then turns on a tragedy or incident, which brings the earlier memory into clearer focus. Here, the speaker of the poem is remembering a school exercise that involved him and another boy who had to walk further away and keep shouting until he was out of earshot. 20 years on, and in Australia just about as far away as it's possible to get from your where Armitage grew up. The poem takes a surprise, tragic turn at the junior school I went to. We had a very excitable science teacher and no equipment, which was a bit of a bewildering combination, and he used to give us these little missions. They weren't experiments, they were more like missions. And one day he asked me and another kid to go outside and not come back into the school until we'd measured the size of the human voice without any equipment. So we devised this little experiment. We decided that we would keep moving further and further apart and shouting at each other until we could not hear each other any longer, and that would be the size of the human voice. Unfortunately, the village we lived in wasn't that big, and there came this point when this other kid just fell off the edge into Lancashire or some dark place. And it's at the moment when the science breaks down that I try and get poetry to rush in and fill the gap. Once again, Maydeline P. De Leon from Humes 11D.